We are here in my studio, a renovated farm. In fact, my studio was a cowshed some time ago. Having enough space for my work is an important requirement for me. Space to work, space to reflect. So now, let's talk about my work. The main question that has occupied me for years is, how does our visual perception work? Seeing is very complex. Actually, we only ever see a tiny part of our environment. Our eyes are constantly moving. We make an average of 4 saccades per second, constantly scanning our surroundings. Our brain then combines these individual images instantly into an overall picture. Right now I'm working on a series called Shift Change. The starting point is self-portraits of women painters, from the Renaissance to the present day. The formats of my painted portraits correspond one-to-one to those of the originals. I am especially interested in photographic seeing. This is not self-evident but learned culturally. For example, we have only been able to read blurred images since the invention of analog photography. Earlier, if you showed someone who had never seen an analog photo in his life, this person could often not, so to speak, read the photo. Only gray areas were recognized, as the translation of a two-dimensional image into the third dimension was missing. Today, through digital photography, we further develop our vision insofar as our vision in pixels is continuously refined. Where a few years ago we would only have seen geometric patterns, today we perceive clear shapes. Our visual perception changes constantly and adapts to new circumstances. Now to the second big topic that led to the series Shift Change. The self-portrait has been an integral part of painting since the Renaissance. We all know the great self-portraits of male artists. Female painters barely existed. Due to many reasons: no educational opportunities, the lack of working conditions, economic interests, to name just a few. The male-dominated art historiography also neglected or ignored female artists. Shift Change is a journey through time, through the female self-portrait, from the Renaissance to today. How did and do painters want to be seen? Self-portraits were often used, especially before the invention of photography, as business cards, as self-promotion. They hung in the artist studios to show potential clients that they could measure up to their male colleagues of their time. With self-confidence, often a palette in their hand, the portrait looks directly at the viewer. The blurring in Shift Change stands for the perception of women painters, for making their work visible. Where do female artists stand today? Shift Change is an exploration through the means of painting. Ultimately, it's always about painting, about organizing color and shape on canvas.